But I want to talk about CMC and CMC change, and its, I guess, the relationship between CMC change and regulatory engagement. Any number of factors can drive a CMC change, and that requires regulatory engagement. So let's discuss what drives a CMC change, or what business decisions impact CMC and regulatory efforts. You know, some of the bullet points that I kind of threw out that I wanted to ask you about are new product acquisitions. Let's start with that one. How does a new product acquisition affect regulatory engagement due to the CMC change required?
Well, so I guess I can make one comment with respect to new product acquisitions, if I understand you correctly. If you are inheriting a product from somebody else, right? And it could be at any stage, right? Could be still a clinical program, could be a commercial product even.
Sure.
So that could definitely drive CMC changes. For one, if your quality system and your internal expectations are not entirely congruent with whoever you purchase it from. The other is you might need to or choose to bring it into your own facilities. So then you have a whole host of equipment and manufacturing site changes. And sometimes it just, you know, it just doesn't necessarily meet all the standards that you have set for yourself. So that's I think what happens with inherited programs. I do remember, you know, having experienced a lot of partnerships with other companies in sort of a co-development, right? It's not necessarily an outright acquisition, but a partnership, which often also then subsequently leads to a shift in the CMC development strategy that can lead to CMC changes.
Dr. Chamow, thank you, Steffi. That's awesome. It's a great point, and it's a point that reminded me of a comment that Stephen made when we talked a while back around, you know, leaders of perhaps emerging or clinical stage biopharma companies who don't necessarily come from a CMC background or you know, biopharmaceutical manufacturing background, but maybe kind of come from a business background, who think, hey, I've done M&A before. It's easy, and boy, that other company has an attractive candidate. I'd like to have it. I think I can get it for a song. I'm going to bring it in. Unbeknownst to them, they're opening themselves up to a whole world of you know, regulatory filings due to CMC changes. Give us a little color on that. I'm just sort of encapsulating the height of that conversation, Dr. Chamow, but I'd like you to kind of give us some more on that.
Sure, Matt. Yeah, so you're absolutely right. I mean, this is not an uncommon scenario that we've encountered. As Steffi says, a company that has recently acquired a product from another company and wants to move it forward in clinical development. And so there are, you know, there are a number of aspects of this that will impact CMC. So first of all, presumably there was a process that existed at some point. So the first question is there, how long ago was that process developed? Is there current inventory of drug product? And is that current inventory active? Namely, is it not expired? Because all of drug products has expiration dating that needs to be followed in order to confirm that the product is still as advertised, so to speak. So first questions are all around expiration dating and whether or not there's existing material. And then the second question is, so you acquired this product, presumably there was there were clinical data that were generated from this product previously. Is your goal to utilize those clinical data? In other words, build on the earlier clinical data in your the work that you do and the filing that you make. And if the answer to that is yes, then we're into a situation where the new material has to look an awful lot like the old material. So we're going to make new material with this new sponsor, and and in order for us to be able to reach back to the original work, the product has to be the same. It has to be substantially similar. And so that is a very important consideration that many sponsors in this situation, in this business situation, don't appreciate. And that will actually guide the process an that takes place subsequently.
Yep.
You have to. It becomes kind of well. There's an official exercise that we go through called a comparability study. Once we generate the new product, we have to confirm. We have to do analytical assessment and compare the characteristics of the new product to those of the old product. And that comparability assessment is what will guide how we do the process development. Not titer, not productivity, it's comparability.